This episode of What If It's Cool is brought to you by Respro Clothing. Respro Clothing, where you can get the latest merchandise from all the stars, including Luke Resner, Som, Savannah Rowe, Nova Nichols, and my personal favourite, Conflict Axiom. So make sure you check out Respro Clothing. You can find them on Facebook and on Instagram. Wrestling Wednesdays, and I'm very glad to have my new partner on this portion of What If It's Cool. I have the incredible John L. Crossfire from Corner Conversations. Johnny, how are you, mate?
Not too bad, mate. Not too bad. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to see you, what I can see of you.
Yeah,
we'll make do.
It's been a while since we talked, so... But yeah, firstly, before we get to... Let's just do a bit of housekeeping before we get on the show. This is not just a What If It's Cool reaction episode. This is in conjunction with Corner Conversation. What's happening with your show so far?
So as I was talking to you when you actually had me on for the proper episode, I was, dealing with some issues and stuff. I have since put out 2 episodes. They were originally YouTube exclusives. They now are all back on Podbean, Spotify, Google Pod. I've got it all back up and running as of about 3 weeks ago upon recording this. But yeah, so now hopefully I can't give a definite date just because I am still, dealing with stuff here and there. But hopefully sooner than later, I'll have some stuff pumped out. I've got 2 Markapalooza episodes set in stone. I've just got to get a time where I can get the actual co-hosts of those episodes, to sit down and, shoot the for an hour and a half. Lord knows the episode, Mrs. Crossfire, spoiler alerts, one of them, the episodes her and I do can go from 2 to 2.5 hours because we just talk stupid and rather than editing it out, I'm just like, you know what? We had fun. Let's just throw it all.
It's always fun when you and your missus are on doing like commentary over like the one I loved that I listened to the other night, the Royal Rumble commentary that you guys did. I thought that was just hilarious, man. But obviously, Corner Conversations coming back, which is fantastic to hear. The other thing I wanted to find out is how's your health going, because if you do see John's updates on his Instagram or on Facebook or wherever you follow him, there's been a rough couple of weeks for you. I know that. And what's going on?
So it is good news. It is good news, but selfishly I'm just a little bit disappointed. I got told, so I had a 6-month gap between appointments, which is the longest one that I had, because as I said to you, it was, I was there for a stretch and they're just like, you need to find accommodation, and it was and all that fun stuff. Go back and listen to the episode. Cheap plug. But then it went from, hey, come back in a month's time, come back in 2 months, and then it was like every 3 months, and then all of a sudden it was just like, okay, bang, come back in 6 months. And I was just like, I like the sound of that, where we're getting good. And I was talking to the actual surgeon and he's like, we're going to take those stitches out. And I was just like, yeah, like obviously, look, wrestling is the bottom of the barrel of my priorities when I'm trying to, get back to work once I heal up and just be a good husband and be a good son, whatever cliche shit. But I was excited because I had a plan and I wanted to get back on track and start at least getting back into shape, right? I'm not just going to jump back in there when I do come out, but I was like, cool, I can start working out. I can start doing this, start doing that. And then they only took half of the stitches out. So I'm still stuck in the same rut that I've been in for the last 1.5 years. And I've got to go back in January. So it's 4 months. The annoying thing is I have the new upcoming show, ECW, Extreme Capital Wrestling. I'm going to be the commentary for that. And again, obviously I wouldn't have been, cleared to wrestle by any means, but I was just looking forward to getting back into shape and at least selfishly, doing some in-ring training before that show. And now I'm like, oh, I can't even really help lift heavy shit at all because stitches are still in. So it was just mainly standards and goals that I set for myself that weren't met, but it is healing. It's actually obviously it's still blurry, but in terms of colors and stuff, it's actually clearer now.
Oh,
so by the time this one heals, this one might actually end up being my good eye after almost 30 years.
Well, that is really good news, and
we're on the right track.
Yeah.
I am just a little disappointed. It is what it is. That of course, the travel takes it out of you like a sunbitch. We just announced that the Crossfire compound breaking kayfabe. It's a rental, but a house inspection coming out. So it's just like all the dust and stuff that's gonna stir that up. That's gonna be fun.
But
But no, on the right track. It's just going slower than I had planned or had hoped, or but it is what it is.
well, it's good to hear that your health is on the mend, and I can't wait for the more updates soon. That the stitch is all going to come out, the vision's going to come back, the better eye there. Good to hear that you're going to be on commentary for and hopefully we don't get sued when I say this, but the ECW of Australia. That's really cool. And I can't wait to hear you on commentary. Possibly, don't count on it, but I'm gonna try my best to come to that show. It's just going to be a bit hard because I'm in Melbourne. I also work 9 to 5, so it's a bit hard to get some time off, especially during that time because that's a busy
Yes,
season
no,
for retail.
we do, of course. We have MXW's A Shack, and of course, my boy, member of Rogue, hasn't even been in Canberra, and I've already recruited him. He's in like 3 or 4 different factions because he's a hashtag faction hall. Robbie Parker coming up. I'm very those two guys do.
I still can't believe I never noticed this, and this is on the Anarchy Pro definitive issue of Anarchy Pro. That's a cheeky plug. Episode where I found out what his actual nickname is, the Hard.
Yes. I've had to try and like cover that up. If you notice on one of the posters, I've kind of covered it with the QR code and stuff. When his match comes out, it's kind of obvious who the match is, considering there's only 4 guys in the tournament and 1 match has been announced. But I kind of tried to cover it with some of the tail of the tape stuff as well. But because it's like we're playing to a more mature audience, but still, if kids want to come, it's it's a licensed venue. As long as they're with their parents, it's fine. But yeah, I'm just like, for promotional uses, I'm like, can I get a new promo photo? It's just like, yeah, I'm working on it. Personally, I don't care. I'm like, it's just a t-shirt, but
yeah.
For the sake of promotional stuff, I've like covered it up.
I still can't believe I never noticed it, and wasn't until Adrian told me, and I just burst out laughing. I just could not believe I've never noticed it before. But
it's funny because Mrs. Crossfire Nova Lee, she's actually going to be ring announcer at that show. She's hopefully making her ring announcing debut before that show. Hopefully the next ICW show in a couple of weeks' time. She's meant to be doing. We'll see how we go, health permitting. She's got a sore throat at the moment, but she's been like trying to practice and get in the zone. And while she's been practicing, she's been calling the hard. She's like, can't say that. And it's like, no, it's just the hunter. Just the hunter, Robbie Parker. She's just like, Jesus Christ.
Oh, Robbie, why did you call yourself that, mate?
We'll have an 18+ show one day where we can just throw it all out. Who gives?
All right. Well, on this episode, we are going to be reacting to a match from the Forever Roxy event, the Jeremiah Kingsley with the Pulse versus Michelle. I hope I'm saying this right.
Michelle
Hasluck, Izzy Shaw, and one of the 7 people who I'm scared of in the world of professional wrestling, Vixsin, who, mind you, if you have not checked out the episode, she's one of the most sweetest, amazing women I've ever met, and I'm glad to call her a friend. And I'm very excited because I did talk to her a little bit about this match when I saw her recently, and she was very, very proud of it, and I can't wait to see it, dude.
I'm very excited to check out that episode though as well, and I'm actually hoping that she's one that's definitely on my radar. So Vixsin, hit me up if you see this. Vixsin was the first ever female wrestler, well, one of the first, along with Jessica Troy, that Mrs. Crossfire actually ever followed in Australia. Because she knew nothing about the indies until she met me, and now all of a sudden it's like Aladdin and it's a whole new world. But Vixsin, she since day one of kind of being introduced to the Australian indies, Mrs. Crossfire has been a huge mark for Vixsin. Vixin's actually been a huge inspiration to her. So thank you, Vixsin. I'll call Mrs. Crossfire out while she's not in the room to hear it. But I want to get Vixsin on, and hopefully, if I can get Mrs. Crossfire's nerves down, she can co-host that one and ask some of her questions.
I honestly reckon you should do, just like set the interview up, but just like as you're doing the instructions, to piss off and just to see her mark out. I think that'll be great.
Yeah, we met her at Roll On, and she was so scared. I've never seen her. Like, even when we went to the Impact show recently, Like we met Moose and all that, and she was
Yeah.
just boom, boom, boom. But she was so starstruck with Vixsin because she's just like, for whatever reason. And I mean, I don't blame her. Vixen's a fantastic wrestler, fantastic deathmatch wrestler, powerhouse, bad bitch, whatever whatever you want to call her. And Mrs. Crossfire is just attached to her, and it was so cute. Going, can you ask her if it's okay for a photo? And I'm just like, all right, let's go. Come on.
Oh boy. All right. Well, let's get right into the action.
Let's get into this, eh?
All right. So just for copyright purposes, we are just going to mute that.
It's good to hear though that like even like the fact that it was such a the reason for the show was so somber. It's good to hear that the moment the announcer started talking, the fans instantly were making noise. That's very good to see slash hear.
Mm. I don't know very much about Michelle. I've only ever seen her at the on like some footage, but the only one I can remember that's memorable for me is her match with Vixen at Dream 2, and she took my bloody breath away as well because
She's
she was
another one.
fantastic.
She's another one that again I've known of for quite some time, but I've only seen like very small clips here and there, and it's
Mm.
only just recently that I've got to see some of her stuff. I haven't watched the most recent like deathmatch stuff that she got to do, but yeah, I've seen stuff here and there, and I'm slightly biased to her because she's a big spokesperson for Indigenous wrestling, and as someone that and I spoke to Joel Bateman about this, not to get too off topic, but as someone that kind of hid that the first few years of wrestling, just because everyone kind of judged you for it, because hell, I'm still white as right?
Mm.
But yeah, Michelle's someone along with Bateman and Rochelle Rogue that kind of helped me come out of my shell with that. So I'm slightly biased to her, and she's another one that again, she's just a bad bitch, doesn't care about gender stereotypes, whatever. Mrs. Crossfire absolutely loves the shit that she does, and she's nuts with the deathmatch stuff. 10 years ago, I'd be like, I'm up for that, but nowadays I'm like, no, I'll go hardcore, but I'll draw a line somewhere.
Is he sure? I'll be flat honest. I know nothing about her.
Yeah,
Do
I've
you
heard
know
her
much about
name,
her?
but I've heard her name mentioned quite a lot by people on the Australian independent circuit. But again, I haven't seen much of her stuff.
Mm.
This actually might even be my first time actually ever seeing Izzy Shaw actually in a match.
Okay.
I follow her on.
At least I don't feel too bad that I don't know much about it. But then again, I probably should because well, what if it's school does a lot of wrestling stuff, and I should know a lot more.
She's
But
one like I still follow her on socials and I'll like share her stuff around, but I haven't actually watched anything. I've just heard through the grapevine from other people that I hold in high standard that she's a good worker. So
mm.
and she's in the main event here, so obviously she's pretty damn good.
Mm. Oh, there for to be in this one and be tagging with Vixen as well is
I do love the fact that I love that they're all wearing purple as well for like, it's a very obvious reason, but I very very much do like that.
well, purple is my favorite color, so I'm definitely enjoying this. That's for sure.
Oh, there you go.
Well, normally I've got my three favorite colors are blue, red, and purple. So, but I'm leaning toward purple these days anyway. But yeah, no, it's good. And oh man, anytime if you guys have never seen Vixen live, I'm gonna completely mark out for a second. Vixen is one of a handful of people who like I just enjoy her matches. I just really do. Like it doesn't matter what it is. If she could be in there for like 2 seconds or just cut a promo, I think she's absolutely fantastic. And I've had the recent pleasure of actually telling her that to her, and I'm very proud of her. I think she's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, well, that's what I said. I think that's why my wife, I keep talking about my wife, but that's just what I do. I think that's why she's gravitated to Vixen so much because she could be regular singles tag, like, or go into the deathmatch stuff. It doesn't matter, and she delivers every time. That was actually her first ever proper wrestling show as a fan. Every other show she'd been to was all shows that I'd been on, and she was always doing something for me, so she never got to sit down. First, I take her to, and there's a bloody death match with Vixen and Callan Butcher, and it actually ended up being her favorite match of the night. And she's like, it's not even that it was just because Vixen was in it; it was just a good match. Let alone
I've heard a lot of good things about that match.
fantastic.
Yeah. I'm just going to also mark out here for a little bit. I finally got to see the Pulse. I've heard of them. I follow them on social media, but I've never seen anything of them. And I got to saw them at Dream 3. They took my fucking breath away as well. Like I became instantly fan. I got their shirt. It's actually just down in my bag. It's below my desk here, and I thought they're absolutely fantastic. The one thing I found very funny about their merchandise, they've actually got G strings too.
Yes, I saw that the Pulse G bangers. I saw that like legit 2-3 days ago, and I was like, I don't know if I'd even fit in one of those, but I want to buy it just for shits and gigs.
Trust me, if I had the cash, I would have. Now I can't remember which one of the members of the Pulse had this, but there's also another T-shirt, and I almost bought it, but I just for the life of me, being a Christian as well, I probably could never wear this outdoors.
You're talking about Felix because he has some very interesting merch designs. Although
yeah,
if I had the money, I would buy a couple of them.
It says no love, only.
Shout out to Jared Slate also. Like, I don't want to put myself over. Like, I know you're here to like help me promote like CIC Pod, but I was doing a graphic for PW Down Under, and I get a lot of wrestlers are busy, but he was one of the very few wrestlers that actually got back to me and sent me promo photos or straight away for that graphic that I was doing. The other ones I had to chase down online. And as someone that functions with one eye, it was very difficult. So thank you like, for being very professional.
And here comes Jeremiah Kingsley. He was married. He was married to Roxy, wasn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
And they had, I believe, a couple of children of their own. And then he was also, someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the post they said there was, I think, 5 or 6 kids, may have been 7, but there was like kids from previous relationships plus.
Oh, okay.
I believe, and he pretty much took them all on as his own. Which, as a man, that makes me just warm inside as it is. And
yeah. I'm not a biological parent, but I helped raise my godson, Bubs. He's a trooper, man. That's a real man looking after children like that, and God bless him for doing that. And like I've said a few times, my thoughts and prayers go out to their whole family during this time. And if you guys want to donate to the family, the link is in the description for the Roxy Riot GoFundMe page. And yeah, I know they've reached their goal, but every little bit helps because it's dark times at the moment when it comes to everything.
Absolutely.
Who's the other guy that's with him? I just missed the graphic for the name.
I didn't bloody see.
Oh.
I'm sure they'll mention his name. But like I've not to get too deep, but I've had rocky relationships with step parents. So just the fact that, knowing that he's a dude that without hesitation, took on, these other kids that weren't his, because, he was in love with this woman, it, warms your heart.
Yep, definitely. Has the music stopped? Let's have a listen. Nope, still going.
I honestly, and I can't imagine what would be going through his mind in a situation like this either. Because as I think I mentioned on your pod, but I wrestled the day after my dad's, funeral, which, look, that's hard enough in itself. But when it's someone that you're planning on spending your whole life with and you have the kids and all that, I feel like that would be even worse. And, thoughts, prayers, whatever, it's just words. But honestly, I'm still thinking of Jeremiah and his family. And of course, as you say, just if you guys can spare, I haven't donated yet. I donated $10 to the Kyle one because that's all I had. I probably will donate to the Roxy one when I get paid. But if you can just donate, $5 or $10, every little bit counts, and just share it around because, the family's going through a lot of right now, and especially in these, economy and still half coming out of a pandemic. It's ridiculous,
Oh, man. Here we go. Trying to respect. That's good.
Yeah, we got tremendous show of respect on this one. Shake hands now. They're going to bleed later.
Most likely.
Just how we like it.
I pop every time I see Felix Young as well because he actually, one of my young boys, Jackson Thornhill, looks like a young Felix Young.
Let's line it up, folks. Here we go. Main event time.
Oh, Felix is at APW Love and War, and oh my God, he was He was fantastic going against Jordan Sampson, and oh man, I can't wait to see him live again.
No, he's definitely one I'd love to see. Definitely see live and
Shaw was a
pick his brain.
at the Southern Hemisphere Wrestling Alliance, and like Seth Kincaid said, she was, well, he didn't like use the word family, but she was part of our family.
Oh, beautiful!
Nice little exploder. Cheeky
I'm, get,
little exploder.
I'm getting very good feels for Izzy. I think like just a small
She
bit.
has a presence already.
Great. She's already great.
Well, big height difference. I'll get
I want to watch the Rumble for this show too, just as a sidebar. It's also on YouTube for you guys to go check out.
Yeah, I talked about that with Craven a little bit in the episode from last week, and man, I still can't believe he trolled all of us because he said he was going to be at the show. Oh,
Caught it right in the chest, and then gave it back in kind. Very rare to see Jared Slate flinching from someone else's chops.
oh.
Goodness. Elbow and hip drop.
I know I said, well, no, I didn't say, but I know that JP Banford said that Robbie had the best senton. I think Vixen's one is more devastating, to be honest. Whenever I see her do it.
I like that she somehow manages to combine both a senton and an elbow drop and still lands it smooth as fuck.
Yeah.
Michelle and Slate, no strangers to each other.
Oh, that was
Beautiful.
oh.
Absolutely beautiful.
I was about to say, do you remember that? Saw Slate nearly
Doing a kung fu pose.
I think Lightning.
That'll put Michelle in her Disney sweet dreams.
She's got a family, damn it.
She's got a family.
Family.
There comes Kingsley.
And this is going to be my first time seeing Jeremiah Kingsley as well. I've only seen him through passing buzz on posts on Instagram and stuff. So this is going to be a
That's what I
treat.
mean. Like I've followed him literally since day one, but I've only seen bits and pieces here, like on social media. I think this may actually, again, much like Izzy, may be the first match I'm actually seeing him in.
Ah.
Did you say that?
He did Rocky Six.
Like I literally followed his whole like story from like coming in, and then like it was like his family dissolved. The team that he was in. It was good stuff. Like watching it unfold just on social media. I can't imagine like being there live.
Oh.
Now belly to belly suplexer.
I was literally thinking the same thing. The suplex.
Oh, that was a nice moment though.
Double underhook with the 40.
Bang bang. Cactus Jack action.
Can't trust Michelle Kaz.
Double arm DDT.
I don't really trust Jeremiah Kingsley.
Well, I guess it was whoever struck first today. Oh,
I mean, look,
Just playing ping pong with his face.
I actually would trust.
I wouldn't.
Oh,
Man, wasn't the welcome Kingsley was expecting for his comeback. But it's on now. Oh, looks like the bloke's getting the worst end of this stick. Oh no.
Well, this is intergender wrestling. This is what. Oh,
Ooh.
nearly got clean out there by Slate. Intergender wrestling is what Roxy loved.
I know. I'll go you one better. Wrestling is what Roxy loved.
Yep.
100% agree.
I was just about to say that. I said the same thing when I interviewed Adrian about Anarchy Pro. I said intergender wrestling, and he's like, "No, it's just wrestling." And I'm like, you know what? Touche.
Stacked him. Here come the ladies.
Oh,
These chicks are having fun.
I mean, like all jokes aside, though, like you can joke about like battle of the sexes and stuff, and like what it does mean in terms of what Roxy did do in the business. But I don't think I'd want to square up with any of these three chicks.
no, definitely not.
Alongside him.
Well, close for
Like Jared Slate's a tall dude, but I'm like, you know what? I'll take my chances with him before I have like a pissed off Vixen coming at me.
Oh man, yeah. I like I said, I never want to go on the bad side of Vixen.
Well, what's that be clickbait? Breaking news. That's why I calls out Jared Slate. No, that's not what I'm saying.
For a no-holds-barred match, there are
Jared, just all jokes aside, just go after John, not me, mate.
Definitely, if I had the funds, I'd come to one of these Perth shows because I feel like Perth gets left out of the conversation way too often.
Well, they've got the WWE event going to be announcing soon. So
I saw that, and there was actually on the actual Today Show now. So I'm like, does that confirm that it is coming?
Well, the next couple of days we'll definitely hear. So when this episode comes out, maybe we'll have a little bit more understanding. So we're recording on Monday night. This come out on Wednesday. So fingers crossed, WWE announces something.
I love that little shimmy, and then straight back to serious work. But no, it means that they're probably not going to do another tour here yet again. But at the same time, what do Perth get? Perth never get cool shit. So if they can get a stadium show at Optus Stadium, let them have it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Too many people, too many names. The Pulse and Kingsley going to cut.
And it's not that often you hear me say, "Oh yeah, Melbourne not getting something." So, but I will admit that you're right. Perth doesn't get.
Look, I don't have the money to get over there, but at the end of the day, they're probably still going to pack that place out.
Yeah, no, they definitely will.
No strangers to hardcore.
That's why you want to keep them the hell away from you.
What the hell? Oh, what the? No.
Dirty Sanchez.
Oh God!
You
Ew.
sick.
Oh God!
Finish for all of wrestling.
No holds barred, but
Dirty Sanchez.
Oh,
No
God.
holes blood either, apparently. You say that on YouTube? I am so sorry, Daniel.
Nice first chokehold by Kingsley. Nice chin lock, rather, sorry.
You go from that to Jeremiah just slapping a good old chin lock.
I'm with them. Let's get some weapons going.
Weapons. Oh yeah, that's right. It's a no DQ. That's right.
can they stick out there? So Michelle bring out a chair. There's a bag or something. Big shoulder block there by
Beautiful
Kingsley.
shoulder block.
Hey, that dude is like twice my size, and he's also twice as agile. Pisses me off.
Once the stitches are out and everything, and you go back, I bet you're going to come back stronger.
Dude, just getting out of bed feels painful sometimes.
Super kick by Izzy.
Right under the jaw.
Super kick party.
I'm calling it now. I'm a fan of Izzy. I think I'm already enjoying her. I'm loving her.
From the get-go, she did have an aura, and I can see why people speak high of us. But yeah, she's. I don't want to use insider terms because I'll be the first to say that I'm green as goose, but just her timing and pacing and even her facial expressions are all right on point here.
Well, she sells very well. I'm enjoying it.
I'm not sure who got the tag there.
I just don't want to be that young guy that comes on here and acts like he knows everything, and then some of these guys who have actually been doing it for triple the amount of time I go is like, the f is this guy talking about?
Mate, how do you think I feel? I'm not even a wrestler, and I'm starting using some terms.
Speaking of cells, that was brilliant. Oh, Manhattan drop.
Oh.
Right in the cojones.
Yep, they want some weapons.
Uh-oh. Kendo stick, couple of... Oh, wow. So what's in that Woolies bag? Hopefully it's not Lego, like what happened at
I was going to say it's either Lego or thumbtacks, but personally I hope it's Lego.
Mate, you know what? After watching Vixsin and Michelle's match at Dream 2, I hope it's thumbtacks because Lego just looks painful.
I took a Lego bump once.
Oh God!
And I've had the whole bag of Lego sitting in my wrestling bag since, waiting to be used again.
Oh man! Oh jeez! I've never seen a move like that before with the kendo stick in between the
Yeah, that was smart because usually they'll either do just the chairs or they'll pour packs or Legos or something on the chair, but that was smart.
Oh shit! Here we go.
Kendo stick.
What's Izzy Shaw got there?
I'm guessing they're not.
I think I know what this might be.
Oh God! Please
Sounds
not
like
Lego.
Legos.
Please not Lego.
I hear the rattling.
It's a callback here.
Oh
Yes!
Now
10,000 blocks of fun.
Swedish death match.
Oh,
A Swedish death match.
Whatever.
Beautiful slam though.
oh God.
Right into the Lego.
Oh, Felix.
You want to do a flip, you're scared.
We have to call them plastic bricks.
Screw it. it's
Oh,
Lego.
Felix, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Twisting frog splash.
Oh, jeez.
Plastic bricks.
Oh.
We have to call it because of copyright law.
He took those IKEA bricks right in the face.
Yeah,
Gear bricks. Oh,
Beautiful.
no.
You really
You get a Lego bump. You get a Lego bump. Everyone gets a Lego.
Lego bum.
There's no Vikings in the ring, so yes.
IKEA is Sweden.
No, like not to talk too much out of school, but I literally I took a Lego bump once. Half of it just went in the trash because like it was getting swept up, and all the rookies and stuff were like, "Do you want this back?" And I'm like, "Dude, don't just come bring me single pieces of Lego. Just give me what you can and just sweep the rest into the trash. Like, don't be picking through behind it." And then Mrs. Crossfire of all people goes, "Now I'm not a big fan of you doing deathmatch stuff. You can use Lego all you like because there's less rips than thumbtacks." I'm like, "Yeah, but it hurts more than."
Oh.
Facial to Kingsley.
But yeah, Mrs. Crossfire legit bought me like a couple of like 500 or 600 blocks of Lego, and they're just sitting in my wrestling.
Now that's a keeper there. That's a good wife, I believe.
Oh, look out.
I think she just wants to see me in pain, to be honest.
Yeah, watch out. Dude next to me just.
Oh, you're gonna die. You fucked up. Gonna give him the choke bomb.
Whoa.
Oh,
Oh, that scared me. Oh my God. That scared me.
Uh,
what the hell? Holy Mike Massive has got up from his chair here.
Message dressed to fight. Oh,
uh,
motorboat.
didn't even have to touch you.
Who's that? Who's that in the back?
It's too dark for me to see.
Turn around, Midas. Don't turn around, Midas. Oh, that's bright. Uh-oh.
Run, bitch, run!
He's the breast manager we've ever seen.
The breast manager.
Oh,
Oh, Mike Mess has been doing timekeeping tricks tonight. He's sweating profusely.
I've never seen a guy get motorboated on a wrestling show. That's awesome.
Oh, that's disgusting.
The most devastating move I've ever seen. The sweaty motorboat with the man titties.
Stays here.
Those boobs stay there.
This is a great match. I'm not sure. Oh, this is so awesome.
Oh my God.
Uh,
It's got everything in it.
it's a lovely day. Oh,
Oh,
into the Legos.
Big bricks.
1, 2.
Save.
Only a 2 count broken up by the pulse.
Nick of time.
Mass having some trouble getting dressed here next to us.
oh, dude.
Oh!
Oh.
Oh!
Chair shot.
Michelle K. Hasluck with the save there.
Oh, broke up the
Oh, Sabooed him with the chair.
Oh,
How many times is Felix Young gonna eat those IKEA bricks?
Oh, enough times he and Michelle have had a very famous brick death match years ago.
The original and some say the best. Plastic.
Is there footage of said Lego death match between Michelle and Felix? Because I want to watch it.
yeah. So do I.
We find that for like the next Reaction Wednesday that we do.
Yeah, probably. We'll have to get in contact with EPW and everyone involved with this event and see if they can
Hey, sir,
track
can
down
I
the
have
footage.
some more?
Oh! Did
Oh,
you say-
diving startup, but she went ass first into some of the Legos though.
Yeah, that's just painful.
She got the pin!
1, 2, 3.
That's awesome.
Missed it by that much, Mr. Slate. Have to wipe the slate clean now.
Mm. Oh man.
Lego stuck to Felix's arm.
Oh man. This over delivered, man.
I
This
honestly,
is such a
I
great
wasn't
match.
sure what to expect, given the somberness of the show. But dude, that was fun as hell. That was fun as hell.
When Vixsin told me about this, I already had a picture in my mind what it was gonna go like, and man, she undersold it to me. This is one of the funnest matches I have ever seen, and I'm talking about in every wrestling, not just in Australian wrestling.
Honestly, like
this is great.
that's one of the best matches I've seen in Australian wrestling this year. Like that's at least easily top 10. That was awesome.
We should. Oh man, if there's a Australian wrestling group out there, we should nominate this for match of the year.
Well, shout out to Michael Lee from Perth. He's one of the admins for the Australian wrestling community. We should get on that and be like, hey, Mr. Lee, about some fan votes.
Oh, mate, maybe you should because you're a bit more into the know with the Australian wrestling scene. Maybe you should get onto that one. Because like for me, I'm part of the history of Victorian Pro Wrestling, which is admin by Ref Joel. And I definitely would be saying to him we should, although this not in Melbourne or in Victoria, should definitely be checked out for sure. So the music still going, or so they just?
I think they had like a little thing afterwards, and I think they did I think Jeremiah. I don't know if it was part of this video or not, but I know Jeremiah, I think, said some things. I guess we'll find out if it was part of this video or off air or not. But yeah, but that could be an idea. Even if I just go top 5 and say, hey, people that listen because you're part of all around the country, send in what you think the best match was, and we'll do some random votes.
Oh yeah. I reckon
Make it completely random, so that way the one that wins, people will still complain and be like, "No, this one was better than this one, but it didn't go against it."
Oh, you know what we should do? We should do we should at the end of the year, Christmas, we should probably do something there. We just showcase some of the best for for however long episode. But just look how many Legos there, man. That just, oh god, I feel I'm twitching at the moment. Just like if that was me doing that, I couldn't do it.
The thing that gets me though is like I'm a blind bastard, but when they did zoom in, it looked like it was the proper Lego brand Lego. That shit's expensive as hell these days. Like,
is that Roxy's kids that are coming in now?
I'm going to assume so.
Oh, that's a great moment. Look at his face.
It's like that just goes back to what I was saying though. Like I've never even had a conversation with the dude, but the fact that he's going through all this shit, he's just wrestled one hell of a fun match, and his main priority right now is
his kids.
Let's get the kids in and let them, try and find at least a little bit of light in a very, very dark time. It's like, not to get too deep on this, like we spoke about it a little bit on your pod. Like I was a grown man. I was 24 when I lost my dad. It was 2 months before I turned 25, and I still I can't fathom it. So for young kids to be trying to piece that together, man, like it just breaks my heart.
Mm. No, I was 28 when I lost my mum, and I was 10 and a half when I lost my dad, and yeah, it was terrible, and I can't imagine what they're going through, and just it's good it's good to see that they're having this interaction, and this could be a lasting memory for all of them, and yeah.
The Australian wrestling scene has just been rocked the last handful of months. Like, to go too off topic, but losing Kyle, I literally was talking to him just mere hours before that, and Roxy was what, 2 months before that, 3 months at the most, I think.
No, it was less than, I think it was a month and a half from memory. It was
okay, yeah. I think it might have been just shy of 2 months, yeah.
Oh, hang on, Jeremiah speaking.
Good night, ladies and gentlemen.
You know what? Have a snow angel making contest in those Legos. Why not?
Yeah.
Why do I feel like in 10 years' time we're going to see that kid in the ring? Because he looks far too natural on those ropes.
Mm.
Oh.
Prepare for war, and that's literally what we were going to do. We were going to come out and we were just going to destroy everyone in our path. But now I had to break a promise to her and told her that I was coming back to the ring for one more time. But after that, I don't think I'm done yet. I will finish up with one thing, and then you guys can all go home. And I said it at the start of the show, thank you Always proud of her. Forever, Roxy Riot.
So many emotions. I do love that graphic though. It's absolutely
Oh, it's fantastic.
simple and effective. I don't know who made it, but
And look, you all can still donate to that. Yeah.
I was just going to say, like, I didn't realize that. I didn't know that until watching that Jeremiah announced that he was actually coming back properly. I probably did see it on socials, but ADHD. But I don't know. But I'm hoping with him saying he's coming back that I know flights, from Perth are expensive, but hopefully we can see him in Sydney, in New South Wales or Victoria or Queensland or wherever. Because if he says he's not done, he definitely make use of it while he's still here and still wants to do it.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'm like I said, I've never seen Jeremiah wrestle. I'm very impressed. Everyone was pressed on with this bloody match too. And God, I hope I'm not gonna say like I can't wait to see him or anything. I just hope he's doing okay and the family doing okay. That's all my concern at this point.
But with the situation that he's in, no one would think any less of him if he just went, screw wrestling. I'm going to be, the best father I can be. I think everyone would support him 100%. But at the same time, hearing him say that I ain't done yet, man, why not? There's a lot of talent out there right now in all different states. And, a lot of dream matches. There's a lot of big men that I'd like to see as well. Maybe even David versus Goliath. You could literally fantasy book an entire episode of who do you want to see Jeremiah Kingsley face on this comeback tour. There's a lot of talent out there. So
what?
Good luck to Jeremiah and whatever he is going to do, because I'm excited now. I'm going to pay extra close attention to his social media pages now.
You know what? I'm going to put a challenge to you, my brother. Get him on your show, and that's what you should do with him. I reckon, because you have a little bit more, you have a lot more insight to the world of professional wrestling. Because I'm just an interviewer. I'm not a wrestler. I don't do any of that. But I reckon that'll be a great idea for you to do with Jeremiah. I think that'll be something in the pipeline that you should work into.
I'll work out the time zone differences, because aren't Perth a few hours? Are they behind us or in front of us?
They're behind us. So
behind us. Oh, okay.
Hang on, but you're in Wagga, so it's 2-3 hours difference. Not that.
I'm like, I was gonna send him a message and while I'm thinking of it, as soon as I get off here, but I'm like, it's too late over there. I don't want to wake him up. But no, that works out fine. If it's later here than it is there, shouldn't
when we tag him in the in the thumbnail on Instagram and stuff, I think that'll be the first introduction to it would be good. I think.
I want to say, hey man, let me know when you're free. Because as I said, it's the first time I've watched a full match, but literally since day one, I only just really recently followed him on Instagram, but since day one on his Facebook, Jeremiah's a Kingsley page, pretty much I was there, because as I said, he was an admin for whatever the wrestling page was. I can't remember off the top of my head. And I was just like, cool. I liked it. Why not? And then, yeah, as I said, when I saw he was Aussie, I was just like, oh, now I'm double invested in this dude. Let's go.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's it. I'm going to say that this match was not only cool. It's not that often I say this on the show for reaction, but I'm going to say it was a step higher than cool. It was abominable. It was fucking amazing. How about yourself?
I'm not going to go on a rant about this. I'll just keep it simple. I think Dave Meltzer's star rating system's a crock of shit. However, if I were to rate it 5 stars out of 5 stars,
yes,
I would give that 5 stars, because it had everything. It had all the emotion, whether good or bad. It had the comedy. It had the wrestling. It had the sprinkles of the hardcore.
It had emotion.
Everyone. And then you wrapped it up right there with the kids and old mates oh, yeah, I'm coming back. Cool. I'm invested. I just got to watch that for free. I would have paid to watch that event, right? To especially to raise money for Roxy. But even just that match alone, I feel for those people that were in attendance, that's your money's worth. That was awesome.
100% agree with that. It was absolutely fantastic. And like we said before, if you have the means to, please donate to the Roxy Riot Fund, and also for the charity they mentioned at the end of the
the meningitis
Meningitis Fund or something like that. I'm sorry, I've already forgotten what it's called, but
just rewind the video and pause it, and you'll have the link.
yeah. All right. Well, John, firstly, before we wrap it up for this portion of this episode, where can we find Court and Conversation?
So it's at Court and Conversation, all one word, on Instagram, and then it's, I think, at CIC Pod on Facebook. But if you just go to my main Instagram, which is sensational_LJ, it's got my link tree, and that will take you to everything, whether it's my graphics page. I'm a one-eyed graphics designer. That's going to have to change in a few months, but just imagine how good they're going to look when I have two functional eyes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's got the links to all my wrestling pages as well. So the mask character that I created yet haven't even got to portray, but, you know, whatever, kayfabe, brother. Other people are going to play him anyway. It's just a fun character. I've got pages for my group Rogue, which it's mainly a crop of rookies, but my job is I've been handed a shit card where I couldn't compete, but I thought rather than sit around, I'm going to take this and elevate them. So go like that and see what they're up to, because I've got two young guys, Jackson Thornhill and Zach Stryker in Canberra, and of course, Robbie Parker down in Victoria as a part of the group. All three of those guys have amazing futures. And then Barry Blake's still killing it in the Newcastle as well. He likes having a beer after the show. So if you want to go have a beer with him, hit him up. But yeah, it's all there. Pro Wrestling Tees, my Amazon wish list. My birthday's next month. No, I'm just kidding. We're all broke anyway. But no, like my Pro Wrestling Tees, if you want to get this Court and Conversation t-shirt.
That he finally remembered to wear this time.
I was just wearing a Spider-Man shirt last time. But yeah, no, I've got a Rogue t-shirt. Mrs. Crossfire even has a couple of designs on there. I've got a Court and Conversation t-shirt, but it's our wedding photo Simpsonized, because, you know, why not?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Why not?
I have a couple of Hot Wheels parodies for myself and Big James as the Fire, but he's sadly stepped away, but it's still a dope shirt design.
Like for me, I've got the what if it's called t-shirt. Now, this isn't the design you can get anymore, but if you ask very, very nicely, our sponsor for this episode, Res Pro Clothing, you might be able to get some what if it's called merch. Just make sure you just ask them very nicely and politely, and they'll get it out to you. With that being said, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel, and enable those notifications to stay up to date whenever I post anything. If you can't wait for the next episode, make sure to check out the podcast. It is available wherever you get your podcast. And make sure to also check out Court and Conversation. It is also available wherever you get your podcast. As for John and for myself, Daniel Paul Crow, we'll catch you on the next one. Peace.